Hey everybody, Nightmare 5026 here, and since it is the beginning of the new year, I thought I would give you my top 10 and bottom 10 movies of last year, but I'm going to do something a little different. Everybody always just does the movies that are in theaters, and I don't have the type of money to see so many movies in theaters, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my bottom 10 and top 10 movies that I didn't see in theaters that are also 2018 and older. I'll also give you the other movie lists, but let's get these done first. So we're going to start actually with bottom 10, and I have 3 honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is from 1999, and that is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. So this is the sequel to Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, which I thought was a little bit better. So it's an honorable mention because it's not as good as the original, but it's not a bad movie. It's not as good as the original, and it just didn't have as great of a story along with it. And I wish there was a little bit more comedic parts in the movie as well. Another honorable mention is from 2013, and it's In a World. This is a movie starring Lake Bell, and it has an interesting concept behind it. This is basically in the world of voice acting, and you follow the life of one such female voice actor. And I liked the concept. It just, to me, it didn't do much to really get me hooked into the movie. My final honorable mention, though, is from 2012, and that is 1,000 Words. This is a movie I've seen recently, and it's a shame because Eddie Murphy is one of my top 10 actors, and I felt like this was a miss. It's like, it had a good story, but it didn't have a great story, and I just felt like this is something that Eddie Murphy could have passed on, and I felt like it didn't really use his talents to the best of his ability. Now we'll get into the honorable mention, though. Not honorable mention. Let's get into the actual list. Sorry about that. Number 10 is the first in a film series that I'd finally seen for the first time this year around Halloween, and that is The Evil Dead. And number 10 is The Evil Dead from 1981. Now, I've seen the 2010s version, and to me, I like that movie a little bit more. This 80s one, it just, how can I say it? It just didn't live up to what I was thinking. It's a little too campy, and it just didn't work for me. I thought they played it a little too cheesy at times. I wanted a little bit more horror in it. Number 9 on the list is from 2018, and it's an animated movie. It's Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Now, as far as the DC animated movies go, I do like the animated movies for the most part. There are some misses, and this was obviously one of them. The characters that they picked weren't as great as I wanted, and didn't like the story all that well. Number 8 is from 1987, Evil Dead 2. And this, to me, was a little bit worse than the original one, The Evil Dead, because I felt like they took it in a too weird of direction, and it's something that just didn't really work for me. They got more cheese and more outrageous, and it just didn't seem to work. Number 7 is from 2018, and this is actually an Oscar-nominated movie, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Now, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, it's a collection of short movies, and that title is actually the first movie in this collection, and it's about a 15-minute movie. I felt it was the best one, and actually, everything after that wasn't good. And after a time, it's like I realized there was like I was just bored, and there was still like an hour and a half left of the movie, and it's one that I actually stopped watching because it just didn't keep my attention. Now, number 6 on the list is from 1959. So this is the oldest movie on my list. And it is The Bat, starring Victor Price. Now, this movie, it didn't really get me, again. Wasn't really into it. There are other Vincent Price movies that I own, so I'm going to give them a shot, but if they're just like this one, I might not like them as well. Number 5 is from 1986, and this actually features my favorite actor. This is Tom Hanks, and this is Nothing in Common. Now, this, obviously, to me, is the worst in his filmography. It was at that time where he was making movies that really nobody saw, but this just, it didn't have a good storyline. I was kind of bored with the story. It didn't really capture me in the way his other movies have. Number 4 is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and again, very boring. There was one cool scene near the end of the movie, but I didn't really like any of the characters, and I found them all to be quite annoying. So now it is better than my number 3 movie, which is American Pie 2 from 2001. Now, I do like American Pie. It's in that like middle range of not the best movie, but not the worst movies that I saw last year. This one was just an unneeded sequel. It had mostly the same characters in a different location, but none of the laughs like the first one did. And even American Wedding, which was the movie after this, was a much better movie. This one just didn't have the same appeal that the first one did. Number 2 on the list is from 2018, and it's a Netflix movie, The Breaker-Uppers. This movie, again, I felt like it just did not need to be made. It had characters that you couldn't really connect with, and the story was just nonsense, but there must have been a redeeming quality because it's not number 1. And number 1 is another sequel from 2005, and this is Tarzan 2. Now, I'm a fan of Tarzan, the animated movie. This one, I could see why it was like straight to DVD or Netflix, because I saw it on Netflix. And it was weird because it's like it's a sequel, but it's with young Tarzan. And again, there's no real laughs in the movie. The story was kind of nonsense. And there was nothing really in the movie that captured me or made me enjoy the movie. Well, that is my list for the bottom 10 of the non-theater movies that are 2018 and older that I saw last year. Come back next time, and I will give you my top 10 movies in that same category. Well, this is Nightmare 5026. signing off. Have a good day.